Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Doc here. Another fun-filled day. Let's see what's going on. I it must be. I'm tired. It's Monday, and I'm usually like, I'm ready. I'm ready to roll like usual, but I just seem to be tired. I don't know why, but anyway, maybe it's the weather. Who knows? All right, here we go, and let's see what's going on. And what do we got up there this morning? Looks like we're looking at something. Let's see what it is. We are looking at what is that? That's the Bitcoin. Okay, so let's slide over. Unless someone wants to look at Bitcoin, we can come back to it later on. Let's go over to the euro as we always do. We start off with the euro unless someone wants to see something, and then we jump out of our sequence with no problem. Very glad to do so. Variety is the spice of life. There we are. And there's the euro this morning, showing a little life in it, doing a little push and shove, trying to climb up a little bit. I don't really. I guess, I mean, trying to use fundamentals and figuring out what is floating its boat is a big question all the time. Let's close this one. Let's go with my Dukascopy. Excuse me, open workspace. Dukascopy, there it is right there. We're going to find it. Day and Forex. There we are. All right. And there it's coming up. Pouring out like sunshine from the sky. And there it Bitcoin again. That's what we must have been talking about on Friday, right at the close of things. And you can see here, euro is trying to lift up. It's right on the edge. And you can see we've been in a weekly for a while on this thing. Is that right? Yep, that's what it is. So how long have we been in a weekly? Let's check that out. Remember, Doc I trade in a tight range of things, and I do watch this stuff, but sometimes I am not as in focus as you would think I am about like 14 weeks. I'd forgotten that euro's been climbing and climbing and climbing. That's pretty cool. I mean, we see it in our work every time I look at it, but then I just go on to the next thing. I'm like the little monkey up in the tree just eating the next little banana or nut. I see it, I trade it, I go, and I don't pay attention. I try not to get personally attached to any of these products. In other words, I try not to have a favorite. I just try to read them and weep. That's pretty much the way it goes there. And so you can see there the euro is holding very firm in here, but it's been in a daily sell. Now, where's our little red line there? Been in a daily sell. Let's see, what does it say on there? 3 days, yeah. Since there. So we're in a daily sell since there. Sometimes the lines like to disappear on us, and I have to re-put them in. And I'm always chasing lines. And so yes, I try not to favor any particular product. I don't even trade currencies like an American. I trade like I'm outside the United States because it's just a better perspective. I mean, I don't need to be a rah-rah for the American dollar. As far as I'm concerned, it's overpriced. And so there it is right there. You can see it's trying to bounce up. We've been in that weekly buy for a while now, like 14 whole weeks, going on a 15th week. So we'll see what they do with that this week. What is it? Is this the last? So Monday of next week is the last day of August. Okay, so this is like the last full week of August, and we'll be going into September, and that could be very interesting. You know how the markets act out of the summer months and get rolling into the fall months. All right, let's see now. Let's go to cable. Look at that flat line. It's pretending it's the Turkish lira of 3 months ago, I guess. And you can see here it's trying to actually look at that. Now we're lifting through the daily buy after just 1 day in a sell. Now this is a lot shorter. You can see, what's that? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going on a 6th week. Did I have that right? Is that right? Is that right? Right? No, wait a minute. I don't think that was the week that it went into the buy. Let's see. Let's just double click on that thing. So the green. Okay, no. So that's invisible. So we're looking at plot 4 and we're looking at plot 1. Okay. And so plot 4 is a that's a plus, isn't it? And plot 1 is a plus. Yeah. So that's where it is. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What did I do? Miss that number? Good Lord. I remember doing that one. When was I doing that one? Like 4 in the morning. I think I woke up Saturday morning Friday morning? Friday morning, yeah, which would be Saturday morning, Friday night. Woke up around 2:30 and started doing it, and then went back to bed again a couple hours later. I was doing a lot of physics that night too, so it was all over the place. And once in a while we get a little sloppy and we miss things. So we just missed a number there. Sorry about that, traders. And Doc does it live. He's always willing to admit. That's why we have the fact check Excel sheet. This way we can keep a track of all these things we're watching here. Like I said, I try not to focus on any one particular product. I like to favor all of them, which means I'm not paying attention to any of them on a second-to-second basis. But you know, I am paying attention to them because if they scream to buy, I jump in. So I remember traders saying to me, or institutions even saying to me, you don't really care why you're long or short. You just do it because you're math. It's like, yeah. I mean, the fundamentals have not been working for a long time. So yeah, if the math says buy, I don't really care if it's British pounds. I don't care if it's the S&P 500. I don't care if it's Bitcoin. I don't care if it's like, bonds. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's crude or gold or silver. I don't care. All I want to do is it's going up. I want to be long it. And I don't really care what it is. And that's usually the way we trade around here. All right. So now you can see this. What do we see this? Oh, yes. So there's the British pound trying to climb back into a daily buy right there. It's a quiet Monday. Obviously, not only am I tired, everybody's tired. I was talking to Robin in Chicago. He's tired. Everybody's tired. It's like, it's like, oh my goodness. We're all tired. It's, I guess, the heat in the summer and, and all that stuff. How about those poor people down in, I saw where, I guess it was in southern Australia. They got hit with another snowstorm. And they're like heading into this is their spring. And they're not used to snow there to begin with. I guess it was Melbourne or something like that. So, poor Rake, poor, what's his name? Something Green. Yeah, one of my favorite TV shows. I want to say Tyler Green, but I don't think it's Tyler. But there you go. You can see it's trying to bounce. All right, now let's go over to the dessert. We call Turkish lira the dessert because it's so fun to watch. Matter of fact, we've even just thrown out all the sells because it just stays in a buy all the time. So there's no even reason to even worry about the sell side of it. It's like, let's see, where is it at? Yeah, look at that. So 38 weeks now on a weekly buy. So it's like we don't even pay attention now of sells. Don't even pay attention to a sell. It's just like you buy it when it goes into a buy, take your profits and run. Just wait for it to go into another buy. That's it. That's the insanity of it all at this point in time. And you can see here it's trying to get, matter of fact, what is that doing? Let's widen that a little bit. Whoop, 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 whoop. Let's see that. What did it do? Did it go into a buy on Friday? I guess it did. So let's put that on there. I wonder if we have that on the sheet. And that's line 17. Yes, I did. I did catch that. There it is right there. So you can see it there. Turkish lira, 38 weeks in a buy, 1 day in a buy, going on a second day. And like I've said, I've cut out the reds. I don't even put them in there. Well, you can have to see the dots. You can see the eyeball yourself. There's a sell, and there's a sell, and then there was a sell, and there's a sell. And I don't think that even made it into a sell. And if it did, it only lasted for a day and was back into the buy again. Probably didn't. Might have been like green dot or something like that. And then the next day was no dot. And then you can see it got a little choppy in here. I think they found out they'd done something, another, in the old days I'd call it a boneheaded move, but since I'm talking to an international community, they've obviously done something that is not acceptable by the community. Or a boneheaded move. Take your choice. So you can see here it's trying to move up again, and again we've been wondering, are we going to see the 8 handle? Is this thing going to go to the 8 handle now? Oh my goodness. So that is it with the Turkish lira. And no one's asked a question yet. You can hear me, right? Oh yeah, I hear me too. Are we there yet? No. So let's see, what else we got going on? Nothing else, I guess you can say. So we can leave the Turkish lira, and we'll run over to the Canadian until someone interrupts my slow train of thought and puts us into something interesting. Would love something interesting, something to look at out of the rhythm. Feel the rhythm. Feel the beat. Yes. I think that was the chant by the Jamaican bobsled team. I know it seemed to be an odd thing, but many, many moons ago, I lived in Jamaica for a while. Even rented Eon Fleming's old home on the North Coast. Was it the North Coast? No, South Coast. South Coast? North Coast? I think it was the North Coast, near Ocho Rios. And so, but one of the big things they liked there, because there's so many hills, is they used to ride these like go-karts type of things with no motors down hills, like bobsleds. And then sooner or later, there were always great runners in the Olympics. So they started doing, they tried doing bobsled. And I think they still do bobsled. And one of the chants that they do as they're getting rolling, they go, feel the rhythm, feel the beat. And then they get rolling along. Hey, Daniel. Good, you're pulling me out of my crazy. I like that. Seems like no one wanted to say hi. Thank goodness. I thought I was like, Robinson Crusoe on Mars or something like that. Ideas worth looking into. Okay, let's look into them. Sell the Mexican peso. Let's go say hello to the Mexican peso. We can always come back to Canuck. Let's see, where's Mexican peso? Feel the rhythm. Feel the beat. I like that. And yeah, look at that. Peso's pushing down. 3 days in a sell right there. Make that red. Red one. And it was just 2 days in a buy. No, it was 1 day in a buy right there. Feel the rhythm. Feel the beat. That was the last sell. That was cool. It's been in a sell for a couple of weeks. You can see that. So Daniel says, sell Mexican peso. Yep, I agree with that. And Turkish lira buy. Yeah. They've done something. What is Aragon done again? Oh my God, it's like watching Leave It to Beaver. Anybody remember the Leave It to Beaver TV show of the 1950s and 60s here in the United States? Wally Haskell, who just passed on. I think I've told this story before. I don't know why I'm drifting off on it, but anyway, the end result is it's like President Aragon seems to be the beeve. He's the beeve. He's the darling of the show, but he's always doing something boneheaded at the same time and has to be bailed out. So, yeah, it's God knows what's going on again with that. But yeah, you can see that the Mexican peso is heading south. And as we looked at the Turkish lira, it is heading north to the point where I've stopped putting red lines in. Until we get into a weekly sell somewhere along the line, I'm not putting in any more red lines. Look at 38 weeks in a buy. Amazing. Amazing. All right. Thank you for shouting it out. Remember, it's cheaper by the dozen. If you got 10 more, give it a yell. Because I'm love to be led around. And we learn things when people ask questions. Oh, you know what we haven't done? I'm so tired. I haven't even looked at J4X at all today. Let's check some of the J4X out. There's the euro. We started off with that. Look at that. That dashed line thing is starting to bottom and starting to try to turn up. And we're seeing the same thing with the euro on our Chicago quant. And let's go take a look at the way it looks. I bet it's doing the same thing over. I bet the dashed line or the purple line or the white line is going to be doing something very positive also because of the way we saw it on our Chicago quant. So let's go over to that now. Let's see. And then we'll do the peso for Daniel. We'll check that out. Check it out. What it is what it is. Right there. There we go. Let's see what the lines say. Survey says, ding. I would have thought it would have been turning up more since we're playing with our daily buy. But at least it's doing a curve, and that's a good thing. But look how deep they're buried. So that, in some ways, just like it was buried here, it's trying to tell us that it wants to try to turn up. It's just that our work, let's see if we can show it to you real quick again. On the cable, just really quick. Really, really, really quick. It's like a Spice Girl song. Really, really, really. Yeah, see how we were trying to turn up there. Now, let's go check out Peso, baby. Let's see the pesos. Right there. Activate. And let's take a look at it there. See how well it's matching up today. Right there. Really, 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 really. Whoa, we got something. Capel. Hey, 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 how are you? Give the signals where to place trade if it opens right. Join your broker? Let's see. I'll try to figure that out in a second. Hey. Hey, okay. Give the signals where to place the trade. Okay, I see. I think I got that. Which product's that? The two, like the Mexican peso and the Turkish lira. Okay, we'll do that because we're putting Mexican up right now. So what happened was we got a signal on our work right here where the red line is to be short because it was in a weekly sell, so it's safe to do. As long as we're in a weekly sell, we get a daily sell, you can go short, and that's where you place the signal. That's where you go to your broker and you do your trade. Now let's see what else. What he says. This is so where to place the trade. It goes right until that, and that's how we do that. So we follow the lines. Well, we follow what we're really following is let's give you a real tutorial. Let's not just shortchange you. Let's give you some truth and beauty. Uh-oh, starting me off on another thing now. Truth and beauty. That's Al Einstein's that's the motto of Al Einstein's institute. Albert Einstein had this institute up and around here in Princeton, and it's called Truth and Beauty is their symbol. And if anybody wants to see that, just tell me, and I'll put it up on the screen. I love the symbol. The symbol blows my mind all the time. So, okay, so that's how that works. Now, what we're really doing is we throw the dot lines in just to help you follow it. But see how? Let's see if we can really amplify this puppy. See how the white line and the black histogram have made it through the zero line? Not at the close of the day, and there's no dot, or it's a red dot. That puts it into the sell, and you can take the trade because we're in a weekly sell. But if we were in a weekly buy, you couldn't take the trade. It just means to cover it. See if that helps you out there, Capel? I hope that does. And if anybody does want to see the symbol for Al Einstein's institute, we can put that up on the screen too because I get a big jolly out of it every time I see it. Truth and beauty is its motto. Okay, then there's always SPX, buy while it's overbought. It's still going up. Okay, let's check that out. SPY, baby, SPY. Let's see what SPY is doing. Where do we have the SPY? I think we have it stock combo. There it is. Beep, beep. Oh, chill. It's a four-way stop sign. It's a four-way stop sign. Okay, you can see there it's been in a daily buy for 3 days. See that right there? And then what we can do is go over to J4X and see how it's looking. Now, the J4X is going to show it. What in blazes? And let's see. J4X shows us the S&P 500. Let's see if we can find it right here. On Dukascopy, right there, S&P 500. Okay, and that's where you can see right there. And you can see it's rocketing itself up. It's got 2 days in the green. Ours has been 3 days in the green. So J4X is doing a good job of following it. It's doing fine. You can see the dotted line is ripping like a moonshot. But the market is doing the same thing. And so that's that with the SPY. Let's see what Daniel says from there. While overbought, it's still going up. Oh, yeah. I don't even know how you can define overbought anymore. And then, besides my work, that's the only way I can define it. And then Bitcoin dollar buy. Okay, let's check that out. Let's go to J4X for the Bitcoin. What is that? I see something. I will. I got to answer this text. Just hold on a second. I did good work on call after webinar. There we are. Whee! Okie dokie. All right, so now there's the S&P 500. Okay, we did that. Oh, Bitcoin. We're going to Bitcoin now. Let's go to Bitcoin. There it is right there. Where are we on the spreadsheet on that? We can take a look at there. We're 5 weeks in a weekly buy and 3 days in a daily sell. You can see Bitcoin's the same thing here on J4X. It's moving down and white lines below and showing all the weakness. Now let's go over to my Chicago Quant Dukascopy Forex page right there. And let's hunt that puppy down. Let's kick that pig. All right, there it is right there. Look at today, it's trying to get into the buy. Look at that. Right there. But it's been in a daily sell for a few days, which is right there. But it really didn't go too far. It only went like a few $100 down. And then went into the buy here. That was a nice little jacket up. Went up like $600 there. That was pretty cool. This was a sloppy sell. It found its way down a few $100, almost about 500 at one point from it. And so that's that. That's Daniel's that. And we do everybody in order. So in other words, once I get done, I go look at the next one. If it's Daniel, then I do Daniel again. If it's Daniel, I do Daniel again. If it's Daniel, I do Daniel again. And if it's Jamar, then I do Jamar again. And I just, in other words, I just do everything in an order. That's all I can do. I can be only honest with everybody. Okay, so I did the cryptos. Crypto still is a bit more uncertain, but the stock indices upwards momentum. Yeah, I think I mentioned it on Friday. My nephew gave me a bunch of grief. Right, he's some type of ambulance chaser out in California, and it's like, he's a lawyer, ugh. And he's young, so he's like in his 30s, and he says, "What do you think of Bitcoin and cryptos?" And I go, yeah, I like them. I believe in them just as much as I trade, gold or stocks or any of these other products. They're all legitimate, And he comes back to me and he says, "Oh, I thought we could have had a good conversation, but you don't care." I'm thinking to myself, where did I just say I don't care? I guess what it was, he was looking for a rah-rah, cheer for it, like, "Oh my God, you gotta buy Bitcoin and cryptos, and you gotta only invest in it." Oh, how he also said it? He says like this. He goes, "It was up at $12,000. What do you think?" And so I said to him, I said, "It's like gold and any others, except for it's an electronic product, and it's just as good as all the rest of them as far as I'm concerned. Deliverable and all like that." And he takes that as, I don't care. It's like, what do you mean I don't care? It's like I don't favor any of these things. I didn't favor any of my children. All my children were treated equally. It's like, I try not to freak people out. Damn. Okay, so we got that done. All right, now we go to Daniel again. Daniel says both stocks and cryptos will likely go up. Yeah, I'll tell you. Now, they're doing it again this morning, right? Let's go to J4X and just take a look at they're rocking it, right? And there's the Dow 30, right? You can see that. Look at that. It's pushing up. That puppy wants to be bought. Look at that. Yeah, Dow's over 28,000 again. It's the last of the big indices that need to try to get into the buy. We can go take a look at it in our work. Let's see. Oh, we'll do it as a stock combo, the diamonds. So you can see there's the S&P's rocketing up this morning. All-time highs again. And then you can see it here. Same thing with the Dow. That's trading live at the moment. Same thing. That's moving up and taking out that high. So now we're probably like, a 5-month high. And, the Dow Jones Industrial Average all-time high is in the, where is that? 29,500 and something, or 295.13, 295.84, 295.87. So we still got about 1,000 points to go on the Dow. A little bit more than that even, but it's a whole different sector, and it's not not cap weighted. It's a what do they call it? It's a divisor, which I like. I find it very interesting. So, okay, so we go to there. Daniel says to Capel, he says it's Dukascopy. Okay. And then Daniel says, all right, that's all the ideas from me. Hey, you got the ball rolling. Thank you, Daniel, for speaking up. And now other people are joining in. So thank you on a Monday. Cool. And Doc is always willing to answer all the questions. And so then Jamar says, hey, Doc. And I say, hey, back, what's happening? Also curious about your Excel indicator. May you give some basics? Oh, damn, yeah. Like, hell yeah. All right. So what goes on with the spreadsheet? Let's show you that. What it's doing is, see, here's our Chicago Quant. This is our proprietary mathematics. And what we've done is we'll give you a whole flavor of this whole thing. And what we do is we use Jay's Forex from Dukascopy, and we try to take public indicators that you can get your hands on, whereas obviously the only time you can see my work is if you go to Dukascopy on Monday mornings for webinar, or I do have a website, but I'm not really pushing the website. It's the Chicago Quant Technologies, but you just come here every day and you can see whatever you ask for. And then if you want to go further, you're welcome to go to the site and take a look at it. But in the end result is that we use J4X here, and these things correlate. Right here, these things correlate. Like in this case here, we're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And what do we have up top here? Is that Dow? That's a Dow too. So you see here, let's see if we can move this over a little bit and make it a little bit more usable. And then I'll explain the spreadsheet to you from there, because it's all commingled together. So what we're seeing here is you see the green dots. We're using Hinky Ashies. Everything on here on the J4X chart right here correlates to my math about 70 to 75% of the time. It's in that area. I haven't done it perfectly. I'm just doing it off the cuff, but it's in that area. Now, my math is 8.5 out of 10 historically over the last 40 years. So it's usually 8.5 out of 10 times right. And what we do is we take the spreadsheet right here, and what we do is we put in there, this column here is the weekly buy, how long something's been in a weekly buy. And this one's how long it's been in a weekly sell. And this one is how long it's been in a daily buy. And we document it every day. And there's the daily sell. Okay? And we call this the Fact Check Excel sheet. Dun, 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 dun. And so what happens is that as we're doing the live webinar, we are documenting, and you can go back to the YouTubes and everything else, and you can see that it's all there every day. It's documented. If we're in a weekly buy and a daily buy, or if we're in a weekly buy and a daily sell, or vice versa, if we're in a weekly sell and a daily buy, or if we're in a weekly sell and a daily sell, And so this way, it shows you the trend. Now let's just take it a little bit crazier. Now you can see here that green line down here is the weekly oscillator, or the weekly quant signal. That's what we call it nowadays. It's the Chicago Quant signal. Okay, so what you see here is it's been in a weekly buy since that point. Okay, whereas these are daily signals, this is a weekly signal. And as long as it's in a weekly buy, you can buy it. You don't short it. You can take profits from the sell signals, or just let them be. One or the other, take your choice. And then so what we do is we use this to correlate it together. Now we're following just as our white line here. Okay, we use this white line, which is a fast-moving stochastic. Now see that? I'll hold it right there for a second, and you can see the tool that we're using. This way you can emulate the J4X and try to match up and have a general idea of where we are with our math. So let's say you watch in the morning, and now you're trading the rest of the day. And if you've put these tools on your chart, the dashed line is what we call the let's see, where is it at? We call that the three-dimensional. On J4X we call it the three-dimensional zero line. It's the zero line. So when white line goes through and black histogram is through, it's a buy signal. So when white line goes through dashed line, it becomes a buy signal. Now these two purple lines are emulating our time manifolds. So we are just slowly now starting to incorporate these things into it. We watch it, we observe it. In this case here, you can see that the white line has pierced the top time manifold right there, and you can see it's done the dashed one. It's trying that with a rocket shot, and these are not necessarily minus and pluses like this is a minus and a plus. Did any of that make any sense? If not, I can try to to explain what may have what didn't make sense. Because I do, I'm so comfortable with it. I've been doing it for 40 almost 40 years now. So, it's like water to me. So that's how we look at that. Does that help you out? I think that might, right? Jameer? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Am I saying it right? Is that enunciating it correctly? And so that's what we are looking at. On the J4X, we're using, here, we can show you exactly which indicators we're using. Here we go. So the purple line is a standard deviation bandwidth. It's a part of the John Bollinger universe. And the purple line dashed is the CCI. We're experimenting with those right now, so it's kind of more research, but the solid one we are comfortable with. The dashed golden line there is a slow moving I think we got it right there, yeah, 5-3 stochastic, right? And the white line is a fast moving 5-3 stochastic. Something don't seem right about that. I thought it was a different one. Now I'm confused. Edit indicators. Let's see if we, okay, so yeah, 5-3. Okay, that's the fast. Cancel. And then that is, why does that say fast also? Have we changed that around? I thought that was a slow. I'm confused now. So we're using the slow, I guess it is. The dashed line is the slow. That I know. But I'm a little confused. I thought it was a different combination. We'll have to look into that. But it seems normal. So that's what those indicators are. Let's see, super. Now I see it. Great, excellent. Let's see. Capel says, "Sir, can you tell me?" I did that. Okay. Jamar says, "Oh, so stochastic plus CCI, sure, understand. And Excel is daily buy and sell, weekly, which improving your statistical probability." Yes, exactly. So my proprietary work, right here this is something we developed, and it's a math formula. And then what I did is I put a stochastic formula, a stochastic into it. So that's why it has a nice correlation to this. See how like it did the double bottoms? It does it there. It's running towards the top. Same thing here. Let's see if we can scrunch this up a little bit more. And you can see how it can, let's see if we can find this. There's July. Okay, so you can see it can have the same characteristics, the white line and this white line. The only difference is that we have a zero line here, and so it kind of, it's more accurate. My math is about as accurate as I've seen. I'm sure someone has something out there better, but they're not publishing it. I'm sure of that. And so, like you can see here, it goes through the buy and it goes up, and you can see here it goes through the sell and it breaks down. It doesn't sell down much. That's because we're in the weekly buy signal there at the same time. And it goes into a buy again. It lasts for one day and falls apart. It goes back into a sell. You can see how sensitive our math is. So, let's see. Jamar says, okay, good. Jamar says, sure, understand it. Excellent. Good. Glad you do. And if you have any questions, in trading, there are no stupid questions. There are only short answers or long answers. That's all there is. But there are no stupid questions when trading money and markets. Okay? So you can ask any question. We'll give you a long answer or a short answer depending on what it is. And it could be a smart, good, solid answer. And it could be short, or it could be a very complicated long one. Or it could be something that's like, I don't know. Anything. It's like any of that stuff, So that's where we are. All right, now, where did we leave off? I guess we were left off at Canada, unless you guys want to see something in particular that you follow. If you follow something, you want to see it, give a yell, we'll put it out there. We'll take a look. And last I left was the Canadian. So let's go back to the Canadian again. And right there it is, Canadian. And you can see on the spreadsheet, that's line 20. Dun, 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 dun. And so we are 6 weeks in a sell and 1 day in a buy. And you can see that you can't see that. Okay, so it tried to pop up on Friday and has rolled over on this. Same thing with the white line there. Now let's take a look at it on our work. If we can figure out which one that is, it's Forex, right? Right there. And let's go to that. And there it is right there. You can see it climbed up into the buy. We can make this wider so you can see it. And you can see how it climbed up into the buy on Friday. But it's in a weekly sell, so you can't get long. And then, you know, with it, it opened higher on Monday. You can see that there. It was higher. So it closed at 31.77. And today's high is 31.87. It made 10 pips. That's why I always tell you, you know, if you have a profit and you don't, and you're not taking some of the profit, the next time, you know, in other words, if you have a product and you get into a position and you're making money and you have a profit and you don't take some of that off, then the next time you're taking it off is when you're losing money. So take a profit. I've been saying that through Dukascopy for a long time. Let's see, sure, because this I'm asking, and thank you. Hey, no problem at all. We're glad to answer questions. This is me talking about the markets, complaining about Bloomberg or CNBC, or complaining about different things on the planet, and at the same time talking about math and the markets and indicators, and it's just fun, and I like doing it. And as an old floor trader, I miss that intellectual communications. You know, I really miss it. On a trading floor, you had dozens of people to talk to about these things. You can't walk out your front door where you live and start talking to somebody about euros or Turkish lira, or unless you live in Turkey, or euros unless you live in Europe. But I mean, you know, if you live in Britain and you start talking about Turkish lira, someone's going to look at you and think, what the hell's wrong with that person? Or why are you talking about the S&P 500? Or why are you talking to me about gold? I don't even know what gold is besides this ring I have on my finger. You know, so we are, as traders, we need that I guess you could call it like a steam valve. We need that safety valve to be able to talk about these things with other like-minded people who care about trading and markets and technical analysis. And so that's why I do it this way on the website here. Yes, math is fun and applications are great. Exactly. And at the same time, if you try to talk to somebody about it, they're not going to understand what you're talking about. If you're a trader, if you're you have an account and you're trading intraday and so forth, or even just daily, you know, you try to talk to somebody about it who's not trading, they're not going to know what to say. Okay. You know, whereas here it is a like-minded group of people. So, and that's where we go. Okay, so now let's see, where are we going from here? So that is the Canadian. You see it's moving back down again, staying with the weekly trend. That's pretty much what it comes down to. And you can see here, same thing going on there. And you can see the white line has pierced both the purple line, solid, and the dashed line, and seems to have never even met the dashed CCI at all. We're experimenting with the CCI right now to see if we can get it to do something that the time manifolds do, as I said before. So, you know, we'll just keep on experimenting with it. All right, now let's jump over to jumpity. We'll take a look at Swiss franc, unless someone wants to see something. If you want to see something, just put it up on the chat line. We'll go right to it. Take a look at the work on it. All right, let's go to Swissy. Let's see how she's doing today. Oh, I'll tell you, I had a client is getting the Swiss franc from us, but in the futures, you know, and so it's the inverse relationship. It's so I like looking at it through the spot. Spot's so much cooler. I mean, it trades all right with the futures, but spot trades better as far as I'm concerned. So there it is right there. There's it did slide into a daily buy for a couple of days, but it didn't really go up very well. I mean, the next day you can see it went higher, but not by much. And then after that, it played down and has not really done anything but try to get into a sell now today. Look at that. Now let's take a look at it on J4X. Right there. You can see there it's been just hesitating and going sideways for the last couple of days. The white line got up to the dashed line, which is a CCI. That's interesting, and stalled out. That's why we're starting to watch that. Now you can see the white line is trying to break the dashed line, which is what we relate to here as the 0 line, where we're already below it, right there. So, and you can see here the weekly is trying to turn a little bit, and that is line 21. We are 13 weeks now on a weekly buy there. Ooh, let's do that again. So, oh no, not that either. Why is it? See, darn it, it moved it on me. Yeah, go back. Oh, come on. Would you believe it moved it out of my box? Good Lord. Technology at its best. All right, we'll just type it in. So that's Shift C. Is that USD? CHF. Not D. F. There we are. And we can go like that and hit delete. There, like that. There we go. As you can see, we're 13 weeks in a sell, so you wouldn't take that long anyway. And you can see 3 days in a buy. And it looks like today might go into a sell if we close and we don't have. If we have green and red, we wait to the next opening bar. And if it's red, then you can go into a short. And if it's no dots, you can go into a short, like that one right there. So that's where we stand with the Swiss franc. Swiss franc has been doing some interesting stuff there. It's been a great alternative to the dollar at this point. All right. So what do we have cooking now? I guess what we have is, let's see, it's around here somewhere. Let's do the yen. Let's take a look at the yen. We'll go through the rhythm, and then from there, after the yen, we can jump over to. A lot of times we would look at crude oil after Canadian because they do kind of correlate together a lot, and we can do that. We can go look at crude oil, and then we can go look at gold or silver or anything else you want to see, and then we can go to stock indices. All right. Matter of fact, maybe what we'll do is we'll just skip the yen, because no one seems to be caring about it. And we'll go take a look at crude oil instead. Because I'm curious where crude oil is. Let's see, right there. Okay, so it's still holding firm. And as you can see on line 5. 16 weeks in a buy, 4 days in a buy. You can see we've had some red over here. And let's see what it looks like up on the Chicago Quant. There's there. We've been green for days. Been in a buy from here, but it hasn't really gone anywhere. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. And what do we? We're 4 days in a buy. So went into the buy like here, and it hasn't done us any favors. I mean, it's been bouncing down since it's been in a buy. So it's actually working against us. That's at 8.5. That's at 1.5 failure right there. And let's see. What else can we say about that? You see, it's trying to challenge the weekly sell. Interesting there. A little pressure there going on. Little pressure. Hey, MHB, how you doing? It's a Monday. Everybody's tired. Everybody's tired. Even I'm tired, and I'm a maniac. I usually get up and just sleep 3 and 4, or not 3, but 4 or 5 hours. So, yes, even I'm tired. I guess we're playing too hard at the end of the summer. Lots of swimming this weekend. It was fun. Lots of swimming. Let's see. Have anything you want to look at? We're just going through the crude oil. Let's see. Let's go over to gold since we're around here. There's gold. You can see gold's in a daily sell for 3 days and trying to do something, but not enough of whatever it is. You can see it's been in a weekly buy for a long time. Me and long. Let's see. Over there on the spreadsheet, it is 20 weeks now. Oh, don't do that again to me. Okay. And so, So we're 20 weeks right there in a weekly buy. It's been going on a long, long, long time. Since April. Let's see what it looks like on J4X. Long, long and lollipops. Here it comes. And it's doing the same thing with the selling stuff, just like we're getting here on the Chicago Quant. See, pressure is there. Same thing here. Pressure is here. Alrighty. Let's see. What is next? Let's take a look at silver since we're right next to it. Stop in and say, could I borrow a cup of sugar, please? There we are. Now, silver seems to be showing a little bit more life in it. You never know with silver. One moment they love it, one moment they hate it. Yeah, it's trying to get into a daily buy there today. Look at that. See that? Trying to get into a daily buy. And yeah, like I just said. And look at it. It's dancing with the edge of weekly sell already in the beginning of the week. So a classic silver, going in all kinds of directions at once. Industrial metal, precious metal, metal of honor. Yeah, so there we are there with the silver. Okay, what else should we look at here since we're down this way? So we did gold and silver. We did crude oil. We could slip diddy-doo-dah over to the stock indices and see what's going on with them. We did look at diamonds we were looking at and spiders. They're all moving up. So let's take a look at it through the Chicago Quant on the futures. Right there. Yeah, you can see that 3 days in a buy, and you can see that. Where can you see that? That's on the spreadsheet. Let's move it down a little bit. Right there. Oh, we didn't mean to do that. 11 weeks in a daily buy and 2 days in 11 weeks in a weekly buy, excuse-moi, and 2 days in a daily buy. Going on its third. It's funny how they tried to top this thing out in June, like that sell in May and go away. They tried to top it out, but the world is starved for a return, so without these money managers need to buy something or they won't get paid after a while. Should I buy 10 kilograms of silver? I don't know. Should you? You mean for the next 10 years, for the next 10 hours, the next 10 weeks? What? You got to clarify it for me a little bit more than that. Right now it's trying to go up, so it's starting to look that way. It's playing with its weekly sell, but it's still in that weekly buy. So we'll, as long as that line stays above, let's go back to it now. You got me in a corner. Let's see what it can come up with a clean answer. There's J4X. So it's coming down to a bottom. That's interesting. I'd like to see this white line get through this dashed line there, that's for sure. And then we go over to here. Where do we go over to here? And we go to the window. And there's the silver. And so this thing's playing with that weekly sell right there. And we're trying to get into a daily buy. I think I'd let it confirm itself first if you're going to try to get long. 5 years. Yeah. I wouldn't be afraid to buy it for a 5-year trade. No, I would not. And dollar cost average into it. Use good money management at the same time. So a little here, a little there, a little everywhere. Hey, you can always melt it down and make spoons out of it, I try to be funny. I try to make this. I like that, Jameer. I like to try to make it so that everybody feels comfortable. So, excuse me. I have to be precise, in my own head type of precise. In other words, I need to know when someone says, "Should I buy this?" It's like, let's see. Oh yeah, it's going into a daily buy today, and if it closes there and it's in a weekly buy, go for it. Or if it's like in this case here, it's in a daily sell, playing with the daily buy, but it's not in there yet until it closes at the end of the day. And at the same time, the weekly signal is trying to tell us that it wants to go down at the same time. It's like, ooh, yeah, maybe 10 seconds or 10 minutes might you want to buy it, but I'm not sure about the whole day. It's a lot dodgier. You are feeling 50. What do you mean you're feeling 50? That's young, baby. That's that's young. You're young. You're a puppy. You're a puppy. Get your girlfriend to roll you on your belly so she can rub it. You're a puppy. You're feeling 50 like 50 on silver or 50 on age? I just realized that's the play, right? I mean, silver ran to 50. That's the all-time high. So, will it go back to that 50? Could. Yeah, yeah. I finally got it. I'm as sharp as a bowling ball sometimes. Oh yeah. I can. Yeah. So yeah, 50. I don't know. I keep on thinking it wants to go into the 30s. I'm not totally confident that it's going to go after that all-time high for a while. I don't know why, but I just don't. I don't feel it. It's just a personal. Excuse me. That's just a personal opinion. I don't. I mean, gold. We saw it. Remember, when silver went to 1171, 5 months ago, and I was pushing it over and over. Robin and I from Chicago Quant were pushing it. We were like, silver's going to go to in the high 20s. We were really bullish. We put stuff out in different things, and we were like, we're totally bullish on this thing. Watch out. It has been way oversold to an absurdity. And we were right, and it did, and we're all happy about it. But I'm not totally convinced that it has the ability to go up to 50. Whereas gold, we thought gold was going to go see all-time highs because it was only like a buck. $150, $200 away. So, but I'm not totally convinced that silver has the fortitude to get going. We'll see. I mean, something could change this afternoon or tomorrow or next month. Where there's a calamity, and all of a sudden the precious metals are totally in demand, and the thing would go flying up to 50. But right now, it's just it seems to be more of a dollar function. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. It seems like the markets, the metals markets are moving more because of the dollar is going down. Whereas there's many, many currency pairs that this thing has been at all-time highs for a year or more. Whereas because the dollar was so strong, we've waited like a couple of years to get it back. I think it was 2011. That's 9 years ago where silver touched the $50 area. Same thing with gold. We had to wait 8 or 9 years for it to go back to those areas because the dollar was so strong it was stopping it from, making all-time highs. So, I mean, in dollar terms, yeah, and that's something, I can honestly say I have not explored is looked at gold and silver in different currencies more than we've looked at it, mildly. We haven't done it in a very scientific way. We've just done it mildly. We've looked at it, but it's not the level that we should be looking at it. Let's put it that way. We really should be looking at it in more scientific terms, and we haven't done that. So, that would I wish if I can find the time, I will try to do that. Try to find something that shows us. In different currency pairs, when it went into all-time highs and how long it's been going through all-time highs, that type of thing. And that would be very interesting to see. Let's see. Jamar says, yes, quantitative easing, dollar, euro, and all currencies worth, and it pushing gold and silver up. It just showing inflation of currencies. Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it too. And I've had this conversation. It's good that you brought that up. I had this conversation last week about inflation here. Someone asked about it, and we were talking about it. And American inflation is a lot different in some ways because we do have a lot of production of a lot of things. So we don't really have to go outside the country for it. And so that means that if the dollar goes down in value against a lot of the different currency pairs, we don't have that natural inflation that evolves because you're buying exports. We're really more of a we can supply ourselves. We can stop buying something that gets too expensive, and the American production of it can compensate which keeps in essence keeps the value lower than if you're, say, living in Zimbabwe with Mr. Mugabe's $1 million Zimbabwe dollar that you can buy a loaf of bread with. You know, the classic Wehrmark or Wehrmark or German thing where back in the 1920s people used a wheelbarrow to buy a loaf of bread of currency. Let's see. You're saying, let's see, which one is it? Inflation. Yeah, worth nothing. Right, exactly. You know, so, you know, it would be interesting though. I think that's a really good point by a few of you, and that is to try to look at gold and silver and other currency pairs and see how long they've been there, and you know, are they still at all-time highs? Are they? I would think a lot of them are backing off because the dollar is strong. No, I'm sorry, the other way around. Their currency is strong against the dollar, and so I would imagine that gold is not making new all-time highs in a lot of these currencies, whereas they had been doing it for a bunch of years. Whereas we were having real problems trying to get moving along because our currency was so strong. So I think that's the way that rolls there. Now the bigger question is, out of this whole thing, is what do we call this particular webinar? I mean, I have to have a name for this webinar, a title. So what do we call this webinar? Does anybody have an opinion? Let me think. What did we talk about? We talked about indicators, and we talked about all the currencies, and we talked about the metals and so forth. So we need to come up with a title for this particular webinar. Anybody have an idea? Yes, I'm fully invested in stock for like 20 years and am curious what this inflation will do. I think that what we're really seeing is that, let's see, also Jamar says indicators explanation. Well, we got to run because the webinar is coming to an end, but we can answer those questions tomorrow. But also I'll say this about as long as there's quantitative easing, I think the stock markets are going to be very sanguine or very quiet the way they are now. You can see what happened with the COVID-19. The stock market got hit really hard, went down 33%, and here we are at all-time highs again in weeks, months. You know, so I think that the central banks are trying to keep everything stable, and I think that's what's really going on. So there's a lot of safety that is there. Title of the webinar, yeah, I got to come up with a name for that. Let's see, what is the title? What should we call it? It's title, T-I-T-L-E, and we're going to go with, let's call it Monday Weekly Signals. That sounds like a good thing to do. Let's do it this way, maybe that. Forex. So Monday Forex Weekly Signals. How does that sound? That sounds like a nice thing. So yeah, we can take a look at that and talk about it more tomorrow because we got to get out of here. But it's a very good point, and we talk about it a lot in our webinar here. We really do. So, oh, no problem. Oh, I'm really glad you appreciate it. Thank you for the compliment. All right, so this is Doc from North America saying arrivederci. Everybody have a safe and smart trading day. And as we always leave this, it's like happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. I see I'm the singing trader. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. And when, oop, no, right there. Oop, nope, there we go.